How do we benefit from sharp opposition? All right, that is the question today for number 78 on the list of the 144 fractal faculties of the Tree of Life. If you'd like to get a complete listing of all of those fractal faculties in abstract form, just click the link in the description and I'll send that out to you for free. Also, if you want to get a quick refresher course on your Tree of Life, just watch my video, Tree of Life, a short introduction, or Tree of Life, an introduction. Either one will get you up to speed to the point where you can follow along with all 144 of these videos. Now today we're looking at number 78, and here's the Tree of Life. Now remember, the Tree of Life is basically a map of our consciousness, and each one of the circles or spheres here, along with the abyss and the 0 above the tree, so a total of 12 different components, are different aspects of our consciousness, or different faculties of our consciousness, different potentialities of our consciousness that we open up as we evolve spiritually. And so number 4 is where we're located here for today, for number 78. And the 4th sphere is basically our faculty, or our potentiality of consciousness of law and order. Okay, so this is also, you can think of this as our cosmology. Ancient or modern books or media that purport to describe all the basic fundamentals of life. You know, who are we as humans? Who is God? What's our relationship with God? What are we doing here? What's the purpose of it all? How do all the different cycles of time, the different lifespans and different gestation periods, how do they harmonize with each other and flow all together in a great grand symphony that the Chinese call the Tao? And so this includes the universal law, universal love, universal language, and it has to do with really insight, being able to go inside and get answers to really technical scientific questions. Those, which is different than like telepathy, or what I would call intuition here at the 7th sphere, which is really coming up with, going inside and coming up with the answers to mundane questions. This is open to just about everyone, whereas this requires a great deal of study and dedication, and then going inside. So that's the difference there between those. Now, so that's the basic gist of the 4th sphere. Also has to do with synthesis or syncretism, putting things together according to their abstract and functional characteristics, not their superficial surface characteristics, but their deeper abstract function characteristics. So that's synthesis. And then now recall that, you know, this is one of 12 of our faculties of consciousness. To get from 12 to 144, we have to take the number to the 2nd power. 12 times 12 equals 144. So to get to 144 aspects, or minor aspects of the tree, what we're doing is we're taking the whole tree, all 12 aspects, and shrinking it down to the size of just one of the spheres. So we apply the whole tree to each sphere. So we're basically breaking down the 4th sphere into 12 different mini aspects, or fractal faculties. Okay, so there's a 10th sphere inside the 4th sphere, and a 9th sphere inside the 4th sphere, and so on. And today we're talking about the 5th sphere, inside the fourth sphere. Now, the fifth sphere, you may remember, is our sense of justice, our sense of fairness. This has to do with karma, has to do with, as you sow, so shall you reap. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. What comes around goes around. This is really like a mirror that we can learn to get feedback from to improve our actions. At first, karma can seem just like our enemy because we can be victimized by, if we put in, karma grades itself based on violence, waste, and violation. If we put in violence, we get violence in return. But if we don't really recognize that we're putting in violence, when we get violence in return, we think we're being unlucky or being a victim. But if we are open to learning from our karma, then we can learn to recognize that, hey, if I'm getting a violent response in return, I must have been putting in violence. And so then we can go and scrutinize our actions to figure out how we are putting the violence in. So karma can become our teacher rather than our punisher. And so that all goes into the fifth sphere. And so what we're imagining is that we've got this fifth sphere inside the fourth sphere. And, these two are basically the opposites of each other. This is the enforcement of the law, or this is the articulation of the law. This is the enforcement of the law. This is the synthesis or syncretism of putting things together. This is the analysis of taking them apart based on, again, their abstract relationships, their abstract functions. Okay, so these are really like complementary pieces. One of them is more of a right brain thing and one of them is more of a left brain thing. But they both play together here in number 78, which is called synergy symbiosis. Stage number 78 is about opposites coming and fitting together where the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. The whole cannot exist without opposition, including our enemies. We only appear to be enemies, competitors. Turn the fight into a dance, and the whole is greater than the sum of its parts through association. Simple harmonic motion. The parts work together, even if they work oppositely. Interference patterns. 1 + 1 = 4. When you put two triangles, equilateral triangles together, it becomes a tetrahedron, which has 4 triangle faces. Within the whole, two sides work as one. Harmonious ecosystems. Systems are brought into balance through the concept of rapport or resonance. When we're on the same wavelength or angle. Perform with, perform against the best, make each other better. Credit is not to be taken. All glory be to God. We can work with our opponents. We do not have to see them as enemies, especially if we are both on a level playing field, fully consensually present. To expect and demand our opponent's best effort, and to give our best effort in service to them. It is a reciprocal attempt of us all to get better. I didn't come out here for you to let me win. Please hit me with your best shot, and I'll do the same. Toe-to-toe is inspiring. A crowd is gathering. The crowd is buzzing. Endurance contest, battle of attrition, no one giving in, caution thrown, mythical performances, heavyweights trading haymakers, brushed off. What's two or three lumps, figuratively speaking? A whole lot of lumps taken. No concessions for concussions. See the conflict as an opportunity. The unrehearsed action in real time presses us to improvise. With a champion opponent, expect and demand their best, and they do too. View all conflicts as blessings in disguise, and they will become so. It is not what happens to us, it is our reaction to what happens to us. Okay, that is number 78, the fifth fractal of the fourth sphere, synergy symbiosis. And that is one of the 144 fractal faculties of the Tree of Life. If you'd like to get a complete listing of all 144 in abstract form, just click the link in the description and I'll send that out to you. Also, my Cash App and Venmo addresses are listed there in the description if you'd like to donate to the project. Stay tuned for future videos on this channel. Number 79 will be rolling out in the near future, and some videos on other topics maybe will be also rolling out here coming up pretty soon. We got great things in store for this channel, so please stay tuned. And in the meanwhile, have a great day. We'll see you soon.